Reality lies in objectivity. The devotee asked Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, I am a painter and I earn by painting pictures. Has it any value from the spiritual point of view? Maharaj said, when you paint, what do you think about? Then devotee said, when I paint, there is only the painting and myself. Maharaj said, what are you doing there? Then devotee said, I paint. Maharaj said, no, you don't. You see the painting going on. You are watching only, all else happens. Then Maharaj said, the picture is painting itself, or is there some deeper me or some God who is painting? Maharaj said, consciousness itself is the greatest painter. The entire world is a picture. Then devotee asked, who painted the picture of the world? Maharaj said, the painter is in the picture. Then devotee said, the picture is in the mind of the painter, and the painter is in the picture, which is in the mind of the painter, who is in the picture. Is not this infinity of states and dimensions absorbed? The moment we talk of picture in the mind, which itself is in the picture, we come to an endless succession of witnesses, the higher witness witnessing the lower. It is like standing between two mirrors and wondering at the crowd. Maharaj said, quite right. You alone and the double mirror are there. Between the two, your forms and names are numberless. Then devotee asked, how do you look at the world? Maharaj said, I see a painter painting a picture. The picture I call the world, the painter I call God. I am neither. I do not create, nor am I created. I contain all, nothing contains me. Then devotee asked, when I see a tree, a face, a sunset, the picture is perfect. When I close my eyes, the image in my mind is faint and hazy. If it is my mind that projects the picture, why need I open my eyes to see a lovely flower, and with eyes closed I see it vaguely? Maharaj said, it is because your outer eyes are better than your inner eyes. Your mind is all turned outward. As you learn to watch your mental world, you will find it even more colorful and perfect than what the body can provide. Of course, you will need some training, but why argue? You imagine that the picture must come from the painter who actually painted it. All the time you look for origins and causes. Causality is in the mind only. Memory gives the illusion of continuity, and repetitiveness creates the idea of causality. When things repeatedly happen together, we tend to see a causal link between them. It creates a mental habit, but a habit is not a necessity. Then devotee said, you have just said that the world is made by God. Maharaj said, remember that language is an instrument of the mind. It is made by the mind for the mind. Once you admit a cause, then God is the ultimate cause and the world the effect. They are different but not separate. Then devotee said, people talk of seeing God. Maharaj said, when you see the world, you see God. There is no seeing God apart from the world. Beyond the world, to see God is to be God. The light by which you see the world, which is God, is the tiny little spark. I am apparently so small, yet the first and the last in every act of knowing and loving. Then devotee asked, must I see the world to see God? Maharaj said, how else? No world, no God. Then devotee asked, what remains? Maharaj said, you remain as pure being. Then devotee asked, and what becomes of the world and of God? Maharaj said, pure being, avyakta. Then devotee asked, it is the same as the great expanse. Then Maharaj said, you may call it so. Words do not matter, for they do not reach it, they turn back in utter negation. Then devotee asked, how can I see the world as God? What does it mean to see the world as God? Maharaj said, it is like entering a dark room. You see nothing. You may touch, but you do not see. No colors, no outlines. The window opens and the room is flooded with light. Colors and shapes come into being. The window is the giver of light, but not the source of it. The sun is the source. Similarly, matter is like the dark room, consciousness, the window, flooding matter with sensations and perceptions, and the Supreme is the sun, the source both of matter and of light. The window may be closed or open, the sun shines all the time. It makes all the difference to the room, but none to the sun. Yet all this is secondary to the tiny little thing which is the I am. Without the I am, there is nothing. All knowledge is about the I am. False ideas about this I am lead to bondage. Right knowledge leads to freedom and happiness. Then devotee asked, is I am and there is the same? Maharaj said, I am denotes the inner, there is the outer. Both are based on the sense of being. Then devotee asked, is it the same as the experience of existence? Maharaj said, to exist means to be something, a thing, a feeling, a thought, an idea. All existence is particular, only being is universal in the sense that every being is compatible with every other being. Existence is clash, being never. Existence means becoming, change, birth and death, and birth again. While in being there is silent peace. Then devotee asked, if I create the world, why have I made it bad? Maharaj said, everyone lives in his own world, not all the worlds are equally good or bad. Then devotee asked, what determines the difference? Maharaj said, the mind that projects the world colors it its own way. When you meet a man, he is a stranger. When you marry him, he becomes your own self. When you quarrel, he becomes your enemy. It is your mind's attitude that determines what he is to you. Then devotee asked, I can see that my world is subjective. Does it make it also illusory? Then Maharaj said, it is illusory as long as it is subjective and to the extent only. Reality lies in objectivity. Then devotee asked, what does objectivity mean? You said the world is subjective and now you talk of objectivity. Is not everything subjective? Maharaj said, everything is subjective, but the real is objective. Then devotee asked, in what sense? Maharaj said, it doesn't depend on memories and expectations, desires and fears, likes and dislikes. All is seen as it is. Then devotee asked, is it what you call the fourth state, Turiya? Maharaj said, call it as you like. It is solid, steady, chainless, beginless, and endless, ever new, ever fresh. Then devotee asked, how is it reached? Maharaj said, desirelessness and fearlessness will take you there. Hari Om Tat Sat.